I'm very excited today. It's new guitar day, and this has just arrived from Anderton's. I bet you know what it is if you're watching this video already. Oh. I'm very excited to see what this is going to look like. My new Epiphone Futura. Throw it down there for now. It arrived at perfect timing because I'm just about to go out to a rehearsal. We've got a gig on Friday. So I'm going to take this to rehearsal with me. Nice gig bag. Oh. Attention, do not discard. Okay. Let's see how this looks. That is absolutely amazeballs. You probably can't see this on the camera, but the colour shift between blue and green looks absolutely superb. So I'm going to take this to rehearsal, and when I get back, I'll play it for a little bit for you. Okay, so here's my review of my new Epiphone Futura Explorer guitar in Dragonfly Shift. Bit of a mouthful, but a lovely looking guitar nonetheless. Just wanted to give you some initial feedback on pluses and minuses. I've always fancied having an Explorer shaped guitar, but I didn't ever really want to spend the money on a Gibson one. The colour schemes on the Gibson, white, black or Carina, were always a little bit underwhelming, and when I saw these advertised at the NAMM show recently, I thought, you know what, maybe I can wait around for one of those, and that could be the Explorer that I'm looking for. So when this actually came out last week, I put my hand in my pocket, broke my vow of no more guitars, which, as all guitar players know, is a lie, because there's always more guitars. And yes, bought myself this. So I've been playing it a little while now. Didn't manage to play it at rehearsal yesterday because this comes with a strange shaped strap lock, which none of my existing straps would fit. So that was a little bit annoying. So I didn't manage to play it yesterday. But I've had a little play today. And so the pluses and minuses for me on this guitar. Obviously pluses, the finish is lovely. I like the pickup options that you get with this. You get coil tapping. If you're looking at one of these, you probably know most of these specs anyway, but you get coil taps on both pickups. You get 2 volumes and a tone. The volumes are aligned to match the pickup configuration. So that is the front volume, that is the bridge volume. Pickup selector. And I like the way that with these pickups, they've actually balanced them more closely. So there's not such a dramatic tonal shift when you shift from the bridge pickup to the neck pickup. With my other Gibsons, my Les Pauls, I've always felt that it was quite a big jump when you went between the two. So I tended to stay most of the time just playing on my bridge pickup because I like the way the tone cut through on that. These are a little bit more evenly balanced, so you don't see such a big change, which I like. What else do I like? I like the finish being on the front and the back. It's all over. I very much like the idea of stainless steel frets, although these have got I found a small bump on the 7th fret, which is going to no doubt annoy me when I string bend, because it kind of catches on the bump on the fret, so that's not great. But I'm sure it's probably one of those things that you can sand down. The other thing I really like about this, surprisingly, is the shape of the guitar, because it does give you really good access to the upper part of the neck, because there's just nothing around here to get in the way. So it's a really nice shape to play to get access to the top part of the neck. Obviously, this is on an Explorer. I would imagine the Flying V is even more dramatic in terms of neck access, because there'll be nothing there to stop you getting to the very top frets. But that's an unexpected surprise of playing an Explorer style guitar. What else can I really tell you about this guitar? Yeah, the pickups maybe aren't to my liking in terms of the actual tone of the pickups. They do sound, just on first listen, a little bit microphonic. That might just be my ears getting used to them, and maybe when I play them live it might be different. But for this money, this cost me £850 from Anderton's. Other music shops are available. You know, you could always swap these out with upgrade the pickups should you desire, but the actual body of the guitar is very solid. It's very well made. This is made in China, so whether that makes it a Epiphone, I don't really know, because obviously there are Epiphones made in the USA, I believe still, but these are made in China. Not that that's a bad thing, for that's obviously how they make the price point. I love these inlays as well on the neck as well. So there's lots of good points about this guitar. At the moment, I've not really played it in anger. Out of the box, the setup left a little bit to be desired, I think. It's a little bit of a high setup on the strings. The intonation, I think, isn't as great as it could be. It's a little bit out. When I was playing up the top part of the neck, playing a bit of Mr. Brightside earlier, the pitch on the strings sounded a little bit out to me. So that might need a bit of intonation adjustment, but they're all minor things that can be done without too many problems. So all in all, I would probably rate this guitar an 8 or 9 out of 10. Certainly if it had that logo on the headstock, I'd be paying 2 or 3 times the price for a guitar with this kind of finish and these kind of appointments. So I'm certainly not grumbling about the quality of this. It's got locking tuners on this as well, which is great. There's a lot of high-end aspects to this guitar. For the money, I'm sure these are going to fly off the shelves for Epiphone, and they'll get a very good response. Certainly I'm pleased with this. If I get any other comments that I feel I might come back and do another video just to say what my longer term review of this guitar is. But so far so good. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. There's a few little bits of me playing some songs. So if you did like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.